What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about NED rigs, guys. Giving you my NED rigs 101 course right here. So let's get into it. All right, so first let's talk about what I like to throw my NED rigs on, guys. So I've got my loose spinning reel here, and I've got my Dobbins rod. This is the Colt series, and I don't know if y'all can see it, but right there it says that this is a medium, light, fast action rod. So this rod has good amount of little bend. It's pretty sensitive in it. You can feel those bites, but also you don't need anything super heavy with those NED hooks because they're already exposed, you know. So it doesn't take a whole lot to set the hook on them, unless maybe you're fishing one with a weed guard, which I'm actually going to try one of those out today. So I love throwing the NED rig on a spinning combo, but the truth is you can throw it on a lot of things as long as you can get it out there and work it properly. Then whatever rod and reel combo you choose that can do that will get the job done. All right, well, we are ready to tie on a NED rig, guys. So the line that I throw on my spinning reel, this is a 10-pound test fluorocarbon. I don't like to go any heavier than that because I'm fishing really clear water, and also the NED rig is a finesse style lure, so you're going to use lighter line if you're going with that. All right, and you know, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead. I don't really throw the ones with the weed guards much, but hey, I know they work. Maybe they'll help me out. I do break off and lose a lot of net heads, so maybe this will help. So we've got the Z-Man weedless finesse shrooms here, and these are 1/6 ounce 3/8, but again, it's not gonna make that big of a difference. Your weight is gonna kind of affect how far you can throw the lure for one, and then also how fast it falls. So if you want a slower fall in that presentation, then you're probably going to want a lighter jig head, and also heavier jig heads will dig down into grass and stuff a lot more. All right, so I just kind of spread the little weed guard right here on this bad boy, and we're going to go ahead and just tie a Palmer knot like I always do. So the way I like to do it, I just get the line in two like that, run it. Okay, well, this head is really small, so I'm gonna have to do the old one time through the eye and then come back and do the second time through the eye from the other side to get my doubled up line through it. And then you're just going to cross it, run your loop back through. So you just got a basic knot like you're starting to tie your shoe. And then when you're pulling it down, take that loop, spread it open, run your lure back through it, and then you can wet it and pull it tight. And that is the Palmer knot. Super strong knot, I love it, super easy, mainly why I love it. All right, guys, so we've got a jig head on now, as you can see, and I've got some different soft plastics to throw today. I've got a few that I don't use much, and then I've got one that I use all the time. So we'll talk about the first one that I use all the time. I'll probably start with it, but this is your standard Z-Man TRD. It's a finesse TRD. This is just like the standard style of a NED rig. It's just a stick, a little stick. Green pumpkin. It's my favorite color for clear water, which I'm fishing today. When this stands up on the little jig head, it's going to imitate a crawfish perfectly. So the way that you want to run this on here is go ahead and put it on here, like next to it, so you can see where the hook's going to come out, and kind of mark that spot with your thumb and your finger. And remember where you want to poke the hook out. So I've kind of got an idea right there of where the hook is going to come out in the bait. So now, oh, it's a little trickier with this weed guard, but I'm going to just run the lure up on there, and let's see if we can get a good one. That's right. Run it, push it up on there, and there we go. It did pretty good. It's important to get a good, nice, straight little presentation on your NED rig. You don't want it, I don't know, looking funky on there, because you want it to stand straight up and look like a kind of a defenseless crawfish on the bottom, or maybe a minnow or something that's feeding. So this is your standard style of NED rig, and I really like Z-Man because the material it's made out of, it actually floats, so it'll really help your NED rig stand straight up when it's on the bottom. All right, so that was just the stick style bait, and then this bait is also from Z-Man, but the NED rig can also have little kind of like creature style baits. This is a TRD hog, so it kind of reminds you of like a, I don't know, just a creature bait you would Texas rig. It's just a miniature version of that, but it's that same Elastec material from Z-Man. So we'll probably throw that today. Give it a go. I haven't really tried it much. I don't know why. I've just had it in my car and forgot about it. And then we have another Ned rig lure that I love, and that is a Guggen Baits Rattling Ned. So the cool thing about this, they don't really stand up as well as the Z-Man lures, but they have a little rattle built in. So I'm definitely gonna throw that on later. This is a color called Mooncake. It's almost like a translucent color. It kind of caught my eye in the store, so I picked that up. But we're gonna be throwing these Ned rigs around today, and we're gonna see what we can catch, and I'm gonna try and walk you through some of the techniques and some tips and tricks I have for when I'm throwing the Ned rig. All right, so well, we're rigged up like you saw, so let's go ahead and get fishing. All right, so real quick, let's talk about the kind of places and situations that you're gonna wanna throw a Ned rig in the first place. So if you can see here, we've got some very clear water, and you've got rocks down there. And over here, you can see we've got a sandy bottom, a hard bottom, and clear water. Also, you probably might notice I'm at Landa Park. This is a very, very pressured stretch of the river here. So some of the situations you're gonna wanna throw a Ned rig is when the water is clear. It's tough fishing, it's a lot of pressured, it's pressured water from a lot of other fishermen. And then also, I really like that hard, rocky bottom for Ned rigs especially. It just kind of looks like a crawfish hopping in and out of there, and I think it excels there so well. But yeah, those are kind of my things that I look for when I want to pick up the Ned rig. All right, well, let's do some fishing. All right, so when I'm fishing this, I already kind of said it does not excel in the grass. So if y'all can see, there's a grass patch out there underwater, and it kind of stays on that side. But in the middle of the river, and there's some different pockets and stuff, there's some just hard bottom parts of the river that you can fish really well with the Ned rig. And you're gonna wanna stick to that because that really allows the Ned rig to kind of stand up, and you can drag it around and do its thing. You know, when it gets in that thick grass, it's just gonna get caught up and kind of just, it'll just kind of mess up everything it's got going for it. So I'll throw it out there, and one of my favorite ways to fish it is that I'm trying to imitate a crawfish here, guys. So I'll kind of like barely pop, just little hops along the bottom with this, kind of like a crawfish would do, like when they kick their back tail to move. So I'll kind of just go from spot to spot. I'll either just kind of like drag it around, maybe a bigger jump every now and then, but I'll kind of just hop him around on the bottom, see if we can't get bit. Make sure my drag is set like I like it. They're just hopping it, crawling it. Doesn't need a whole lot of action. Golly, if those are bass, there's a bunch of bass. Kind of over by the ducks. I don't feel like they're bass. All right, let's go ahead and move down to a different spot. All right, a good little spot right here. Let's see if we can get a fish. I've got a fish. I do. I've got a fish. Got a fish. There we go. Little guy. Good start though. Little guy on the. Oh! Well, there he goes. Back into the water. Awesome. First fish of the day, guys. Threw that one in, and I was actually kind of like just trying to get it unhung. I was snagged on a little piece of grass over here. And there was pressure when I came back to my rig. So you can catch them on the fall when you throw it in. You can catch them kind of like dead stick in your lure. This is just a great lure. It's a good small profile. Works really well on these highly pressured bass. Put another shot out there in the river, see what happens. 'Cause I mean, that was almost immediate after I threw. I had him. Sometimes the bites are super subtle on this because they can inhale the whole bait really easily. And if you don't have kind of a tight line, you might not feel it when they just go ahead and crush your lure. Is that fish? I think I'm dragging it through some thick grass, and it's getting snagged up on it. Ned rig is one of my go-to summertime lures. Anytime I'm fishing in the summer, man, I mean, it can just be so hard in the summer sometimes. They don't want to eat anything because of the heat, especially in states like Texas. And you gotta have something like this when like you can't get any bites. You gotta be able to force a bite. So NED rigs, drop shots, just those small profile finesse lures are just, they're just essential in the summer. Also guys, normally if I'm fishing a river or a body of water with current, I want to throw upstream and let my NED rig hop downstream. I want to fish it back with the current. It's a lot more natural. Just kind of goes along with that. If anything's looking unnatural in a highly pressured body of water, you know, you could be missing out on a lot of bites. You got to really convince the fish to eat. But also, even though I just said that, you can definitely make some casts upstream and fish it back and get bites that way. No, I mean, there are very few rules in fishing that are just absolutes. You know, I catch a lot of fish throwing upriver, or I mean downriver, and fishing it back upriver against the current. Just, it's not exactly how, you know, the bait fish work. They don't really just, like, you don't see crawfish swimming upstream too often. So like a cast like this, I'll throw straight across and upriver, but I don't really like throwing downstream as much. Well guys, my camera actually just overheated because of how hot it is out here, which means I'm next. But I'm gonna keep throwing this. Hopefully it's gonna cool down. We can catch some bass. All right guys, well that's gonna wrap up the video today. I didn't really catch any fish, but you know, I've caught a lot in videos in the past using the NED rig on this very river. So if you need some evidence that it works, just go check out some of my older videos. Yeah, I'll probably link like one of my best ones for that at the end. But if you like the video, if you like the content, make sure you give it a thumbs up for me guys. Leave a comment. Let me know what you want to see in future videos. And most importantly, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, guys. This is the biggest way that you can help me out. Kind of trying to keep the channel growing. I'm just really thankful for all the support I've had so far, guys. I really appreciate everything y'all are doing with the channel and with my Instagram account. So thank you all again for that. And yeah, with that being said, I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace.